We'll need another link, but we got this.
Good morning, folks, and good afternoon to some. Welcome back to Destroying Kayfabe, first episode of 2018. I am your host, CM Styles. Along with me, as always, is my right-hand man, C-Double himself. Let's try this again. How are you doing today?
Man, if it was anything like the past few days I've been going through, we have already experienced the ups and downs. What a way for a return. So let's just light this mother up.
All right. And, of course, as always, who can't be here with us today is none other than J-Bone. Hopefully we'll have more for tomorrow's SmackDown review. Today we're going to go ahead and discuss WWE Raw, which took place at the American Airlines Arena in Miami, Florida, which was none other than a decent show. I enjoyed it, quite frankly. There was a few things I did not like about the show, but we'll talk about that here in a little bit. With that being said, anything that you have to say about this past Raw?
Oh, man. Honestly, I didn't know what to expect because of all the build-up. But honestly, I was actually somewhat impressed. We'll go more into it as we, talk about it. But yeah, I think a lot of moments you weren't expecting, a lot of things happening due to injuries, so they had to shuffle up some things. But overall and all, I want to say Raw, performed a very solid night.
Oh, absolutely. And of course, yesterday marked the road to WrestleMania. It was also Happy New Year, Raw. So hopefully everyone had a good 2017 coming into 2018. Hopefully everyone had a good holiday as well. Hopefully you got everything you wanted, and now we can move forward with everything. And with that being said, let us give you the gift of destroying kayfabe. So drink it in, man.
Yes.
I've been wanting to say that for quite some time now. So after almost a year's hiatus, I gotta say, dude, this is some pretty good stuff. So
yeah, it's been a while since we did a show together, so this is definitely different.
yeah, I know. But yeah, Michael Cole, he opens up the show. Of course, we go backstage where Alexa Bliss is trying to talk Kurt Angle out of getting her, trying to get out of her match with Asuka, which is booked non-title for later the evening. Angle refuses that and tells her to settle her problems in the ring as he walks away. I gotta say, I didn't know who to root for in this, but we'll talk about that match a little bit later. But it's champ versus who hasn't been defeated in the WWE, so it's like a balance beam. But of course, after that, Raw General Manager Kurt Angle comes out to kick off Raw for the first Raw of 2018. Welcomes everyone to the show. Talks about how 2017 was one of the biggest years of his career. He made it to the Hall of Fame. He became the Raw GM. He talked about the Royal Rumble, not only the men's side but the women's side. We're going to see 30 women in this epic Royal Rumble match, and I gotta say, I'm excited for that. There's gonna be a lot of Raw and SmackDown acquisitions, some NXT females, and some surprises that we've never seen in the Rumble. And I think I know one of the surprises, but I won't spoil that because it's yet to happen. I'm not going to. So of course, the bar comes out and they interrupt, talking about how they were robbed of their titles last week against Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan, and Sheamus complains about all that, and of course that brings out Jason Jordan, and Jordan pretty much throws out, you know, I'm not a big fan of Jason Jordan. He comes out, he's got the whole daddy's boy thing going on. He basically called Sheamus a sore loser because, you know, he likes to argue with them. And that led to Angle booking a match against Jordan versus Cesaro. And, oh yeah, let's not talk about that used mouth that Cesaro had. Cesaro's going to be doing all the hard work from here on out. For those who don't know, Sheamus is suffering from a spinal stenosis, sort of, in his upper neck, and that's going to limit his work schedule, which is probably one of the reasons why they are not tag team champions right now, trying to find a way to take time away from the ring while still being an active WWE competitor. So Sheamus, from us at Destroying Kayfabe to you, we hope that you get better here real soon. A lot of our fans have come forth about it and said, hey, you know, we don't want to see your career go into limbo, so hopefully you get the proper therapy you need. But yeah,
Yeah.
Go ahead, C-Dub.
Man, you gave me so much meat on the bone here, so allow me to have a little fun on this. Because, all right, first of all, I'm with you about Jason Jordan. If anything, let's remember this. When Kurt Angle first debuted, what was he like? He's basically like Jason Jordan.
Yep.
So, I mean, oh my God, you know, that in itself, he's nailed it big time in that regard. His wrestling prowess, I must say, is this. I'm very impressed with his wrestling abilities. That's just to say. I mean, the match with him and Seth last week, and then you add this match with Cesaro. Cesaro is a heavy hitter. And let's be honest, everybody and their mama has said Cesaro can go. We have said it numerous times. You know, this is where you get to see how good these guys really can be. Sheamus, the whole injury angle, I'm going to go here. He's still working, and let's just give him credit. You know, he's not throwing in the towel. He's not making it where it's over. He's going to keep trying to fight this. Let's hope he can on that regard. The Women's Battle Royal, I'm psyched about. A lot of good things I think is going to happen from it. Really, Jason Jordan and Cesaro, that match did not need to be, 2-3 segments? I mean, the match itself was good, but I didn't think it needed to be that long. I think that's the issue I'm having. It's one thing to highlight a guy's abilities, but when you're going over an abundant way of literally saying, okay, we're going to put him in every match, or his match is going to be almost an hour long, you can't do that, man. That's where people are going to get sick of the guy, you know. So, and right now, Jason Jordan's, I'm going to tell you, he is Kurt Angle when he first came out. And that's going to be hilarious if he can keep that up.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm actually reading in the chat right now that WWE has a problem with long matches. We'll discuss that here in a little bit. As for Jason Jordan, you're right. He is absolutely a Kurt Angle clone, the way he comes out to the ring. The way he has the arrogance and everything, the cockiness. To do Kurt Angle 2.0, it's interesting, but listening to the guy talking to Mike is like watching paint dry to me.
I know.
I'm not going to take away from his in-ring ability because the guy can go, but he's got this whole whining, finding his way out of every match type deal, and I'm just not big on that. But Seth Rollins came out to the ring, and he said that he's going to be there to support his tag team partner, but he's only going to support him to watch him lose. which led to Cesaro taking a cheap shot on Jordan from behind to start the match off. Overall, I thought this match was pretty solid for Cesaro and Jordan. I won't take away from any of their abilities, but the overselling on his knee, I cannot get enough of that. Like, he sells that knee like it's a prodigal injury. It's just insane.
All right, yeah, I got a funny thing on that one. I want to throw on you on that one when you just mentioned that.
But yeah,
What about, is he in competition with Chad Gable? I mean, because those two are the best at overreacting to your leg.
I think Gable can do it better, but
Oh yeah, God yes.
I mean, I'm sorry, but Gable was the better out of the both of them, and you know, I can't take away from Gable at all. And we'll talk about we'll talk about him tomorrow during the SmackDown review. But yeah, of course, like I said, Sheamus and Rollins are at ringside. This one starts back and forth brawling here and there. Jordan, he kind of makes a comeback with some mountain defense, but I think this is an all Cesaro match. Dropping him on his knee, working it over. Not Cesaro, but Jordan had some minor comebacks here and there. After a while, it was like he wasn't selling the knee injury at all. Jordan follows up with a 2 count here and there. And then, of course, we saw Cesaro hit Northern Lights, which I love Cesaro's work. Seeing him hit moves like that. But, of course, Cesaro comes back with a shot to the bad knee and then a Boston Crab, which leads to Sheamus trying to get involved. But Rollins ends up intercepting and dropping Sheamus on his ass. The distraction leads to hitting that modified suplex neck breaker for a 3 count. Your winner being Jason Jordan. Afterwards, post-match, we see Jordan celebrating his win, but he leaves Rollins hanging after a fist bump. I'm thinking to myself, well, Rollins did kind of ask for it because he did say he wanted to see him lose. So, yeah.
I feel bad. Okay, this is the C double take. On this one, look, match was good. I'm not going to deny that. My favorite part, though, is the whole, is Jason Jordan, what is more funnier? Jason Jordan celebrating a win or Booker T hating on Jason Jordan the entire time? I don't know what's hilarious. And then Seth's face, regardless. And here's the thing I got to go here. It is like the equivalent if you had Kurt Angle team with Shawn Michaels. This is what we're seeing. Kurt Angle in his beginning days teaming up with Shawn Michaels. Because Seth has conquered everything. And then all of a sudden he's done the tag team thing, and now he's teaming with Jason Jordan. Seth, I love you. Godspeed. I don't know what's going on, but you're making the tag team division rock. That's all I can say.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, I love Rollins and his character. Some people aren't a big fan of him anymore, and I don't know why. But it really doesn't matter. He's a tag champ. Can we say that Jason Jordan, now that he's tag champs with Rollins, that he can be a member of the Shield?
Oh, God, no.
I mean,
No,
his daddy was.
Yeah, but no. His daddy was a special needs kid.
Oh, come on.
That was awesome. I love that meme. That was the best meme in the world. When you are a Make-A-Wish kid and you get your wish to be in the Shield. I died laughing. I'm like, I'm done. Oh my God, it was that. Like I said, I don't know what they're trying to do here, but I'm able to look at it and go, you know what? I am excited about this, or I am intrigued enough. I mean, think about it. You lost Dean Ambrose for 9 months.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is very catastrophic because we all know a lot of the big rumors was he was going to go heel. So what is going to be done now? That's the biggest shift of everything. Um, and I know, guys, forgive me if you're hearing me say so much, but it's just there's so much in my mind I want to try to get out there. But right now, I'm telling you right now, CM, I think they're going in the right direction, and it's really the only direction they can go right now. And it gives Jason Jordan that moment of, okay, we're going to put you in the spotlight. Let's see how you handle it.
Yeah.
And who knows? Let's see where it goes. I think it'll be interesting to see this work out.
Oh, absolutely. And I hope it does work out for him. But they're pushing Jordan strong. He's getting the Roman Reigns treatment now, where the crowd has just turned their back on him. And eventually he's going to lead to him turning heel on Seth Rollins, where he doesn't care about being tag champ with him. But it's going to set up a feud. And it'll probably go into, I want to say Fastlane.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't see this as a WrestleMania match.
No, it's
Seth.
not.
Think about it. Seth went against Triple H. That was WrestleMania worthy. Seth versus Seth versus Sheamus, Cesaro with Dean. That could be WrestleMania worthy. I don't see Jason and Seth as WrestleMania worthy. It's nothing against Jason, but you better do an awful lot more than just win the tag titles.
Absolutely. But afterwards, we see Roman Reigns backstage for an interview. Talks about Samoa Joe, calling Joe a punk, and that it's going to be ugly when he gets in the ring with him. He says, unfortunately for Joe, he's going to have to stay within the rules. That was more of the match later to come. Afterwards, we see Bray Wyatt going up against Apollo Crews. Titus and Dana Brooke, Titus Worldwide, are at ringside, and dude, Apollo Crews is an amazing talent, but they booked him so weak against, Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt being a former former WWE champion. Of course, like I said, this starts off with Cruz being strong, but Wyatt decks him, keeps on focusing on keeping him grounded. Of course, Wyatt stares down Dana.
That was funny. That was the best part of the match.
Can't tell you how many times he stared her down, but yeah, just everything about Bray Wyatt is creepy. Of course, Cruz gets fired back up again, and he starts taking more shots at him. He goes for a corner, I can't say tree of woe. That wasn't what he was going for. He whipped him into the corner. As soon as he was going to the corner, Bray does his whole spider thing, and it freaks out Apollo. And I'm like, no. They're doing it to Apollo now. They're freaking him out. Of course, we see Dana get up on the apron, and Bray does another one of them stare downs, and it's just like, Dana, you're gonna get yourself attacked. And she freaks out, falls on top of who is it? Titus. Yeah, Titus has a big old grip on her, and of course we see a flying. What was it? It looked like a flying type of Enziguri, a sidekick. And as soon as he was going to go finish him off, we saw Sister Abigail from out of nowhere, and your winner is none other than Bray Wyatt. After the match, Matt Hardy appeared on the screen as he cuts a promo on Wyatt. He does that creepy laugh, and then it just started. He talked about converting the Wyatt Fireflies into Woken Warriors. Hardy then laughs, and Wyatt looks around confused. It's just like, wow, they are finally breaking Bray Wyatt with the Woken Hardy storyline. I'm just like, it made you forget about the match because of what Hardy's doing in this feud with him. And I think this feud is actually going to go into Mania, compared to other matches that we were just talking about. These two have WrestleMania potential written all over it, and I can't wait to see what they do with these two. For some reason, I've been reading up on some forums and groups that I'm in, and one of them forums, someone said, I'd like to see Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt team up and become tag team champions, which would be pretty insane, seeing that they're both woken and broken.
Boy. All right, so I get to talk. This match, I'm going to tell you, the Bray Wyatt match and Apollo Crews, you're right. First of all, how many people can have the numbers advantage and still lose a match?
Exactly.
That, so that should tell you one thing right there. And by the way, I understand, Titus Worldwide, but that thing should stop very soon. I mean, there's no need unless you're going to be a tag team. If you're going to, what is the point? I find that very like a lost point. If they were teaming up and they were being a team called Titus Worldwide, I get it, but they really haven't. I think there's a lot of potential there for Titus and Apollo. You're right; he's one of the best guys to work out there, and really, it's just what are they doing? And then the whole Dana Brooks thing, I'm just shaking my head. But this match was more about Bray Wyatt still being who he is. And by the way, yes, I kind of am feeling that same vibe. It's like when these two go at it, I'm feeling that this match, like they could fight each other and then team up together. I'm so seeing it, especially if someone gets deleted. And I'm just saying, and I cannot wait because the moment Matt Hardy did the whole Woken thing,
Yeah.
Brother Nero, Jeff Hardy's avatar thing on his Twitter became Brother Nero. That moment. And Jeff's been injured. So for Jeff to fully do that, you already know that this has been orchestrated. This is what they've been wanting to do. And I'm going here. The fans are loving it. More importantly, Vince is loving it, so he's really on board. So I'm going here. Ride this sucker out. And who better than Bray Wyatt to do the Woken Matt Hardy with?
Yeah.
I mean, creative can't mess this up. Just let these two take over. This is the equivalent of me going up to two guys I trust. I said, here's what I want to see. Go. I give you the points. Just go. And whatever comes out of it, I know it's going to go well because I trust. You could trust Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy. I'm really am hoping for a nonstop total deletion. I'm hoping for a deletion video of Bray Wyatt versus Matt Hardy from the house or something. We got to have that.
Oh, absolutely. After that, we had a backstage promo where Alexa Bliss approaches Nia Jax for a favor, and Nia Jax says she has to go deliver chicken soup to Enzo, who isn't feeling well. So Alexa tells her that she has to choose between her and Enzo, and he goes, well, her soup is getting cold, and walks off. So I have a feeling this friendship's coming to an end, which is kind of sad because these two have been building up a strong friendship over a course of, 7-8 months?
Yeah. I think that's more, they're just doing it for the storyline. I don't think this is like personal. I think that's what you're just doing. Because let's be honest, she's actually going to be teaming with Braun Strowman during the male-female challenge. So, that's
tag.
Yeah. So, but yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't think if anything, got to remember, it is going to be the Rumble too.
Yeah. Let's see how it all pans out. But this brings up our next match of the evening, as we have Alexa Bliss going up against Asuka. Non-title, this match was straight up Asuka just kicking Alexa Bliss's ass all over the ring. But about 3/4 of the way through the match, Alexa finally, amped up a little bit, got some revenge during the entire match that she was going through. And of course, her biggest flaw was slapping Asuka in the face, and that just led her to getting destroyed. And of course, Asuka hits that kick, and Alexa comes back with a shot in the corner. Asuka hits the kick again, and then puts her in the Asuka lock, and that pretty much wrapped up that match. It was very strong. It was not strong, but it was very intense of a match, and I think we're going to see Asuka going up against Alexa Bliss in the future for a women's title match. Now the question is she going to get that match, at the Rumble, or is she going to get it down the road? We don't know. There's 29 other women that are going to want to toss her over the ropes, and yeah, I'd like to see Asuka as women's champ down the road as well. The only thing is... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just going to say this, bro. I mean, I'm watching that match, and I've got to go here. Asuka is so badass. She was beating Alexa Bliss with her own ass. I mean, I don't know how many butt bumps she was nailing them with, but she was phenomenal. And the thing about Asuka is this. You watch, and you just are amazed with just the way she battles everyone. She's not your typical chick. She has that chub to her. She has that, but the thing is, she's so physical.
Yeah.
And she takes you whenever she wants you. And I just got to say, that match, it's like, I felt bad because I was like, you really don't need to put Asuka versus Alexa yet. That's my only gripe. It's like, I didn't want that match because there is such a disparity. And I really want to see Asuka win the Rumble. And personally, I kind of feel like she is going to win it. It's either her, Paige, or someone. But now that you've teased this, now that you let this happen, how do you build this? Because do you want Asuka to win the belt at WrestleMania? Or do you want a better matchup between her and maybe Paige? I mean, I think there's something, they're building something. I'm just intrigued to see how, because normally you would never put a champion against a contender like Asuka right there.
Yeah.
And like I said, the match in itself, I was very impressed with. And I was glad that Alexa was in it, but like I said, I just felt like too soon. Maybe that's where I should go. That match was too soon. Maybe a little later, you do that match. But, to have that match, now you're going, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Oh, I get what you're saying. And it just is what it is, though. When it comes to the WWE, the way you manage your matches and how you are creative with your, your talent. That's where it really matters the most. But afterwards, we get promo of the year, and it's only the beginning of 2018. Samoa Joe does an interview in the back. Renee Young does not look happy to talk to him at all. And Joe says that he owns Roman Reigns and that he will beat him like he beat Ambrose. Joe also says Ambrose is now a stay-at-home husband living off his wife's paycheck because of him. Joe says he's ready to expose Reigns and that he's going to take the Intercontinental title away from him. Wow, dude, that was when he dropped the whole stay-at-home husband living off the wife's paycheck. I literally lost it. I was like, wow. I could not believe what was said. But it's Samoa Joe. This is what we're talking about. This is the edginess that they need. Throw a little bit of profanity in there if you gotta. get a point across, because this is a new form of an attitude era going into WrestleMania, and we're not even close to Mania yet. We still got to get past the Rumble, but if they can follow up with more promos like that, the WWE would be a little bit better. Um,
Let let me say this: that promo was the best. Every time Joe talks, every time Joe just does anything, I feel like a proud papa. I feel like my chest swells up. I have this proud feeling because it's like this is what I expect. Joe is when he went against Brock, there was nothing bad about it because I was like, Joe is gonna give Brock a fight, and he did. You know, to the point that Brock said he enjoyed fighting Joe, which you don't really hear Brock saying that. All right,
yeah,
so then you get down to this one. You're right. You could throw in some profanity, but look at Joe. He's smooth. He's just debonair. This guy can just speak words, and it has the effect as if someone said, "I'm kicking your effing butt all over God's green earth." When he said Dean Ambrose is now a stay-at-home dad, and and living off his wife's checks, and then smirked at Renee, I'm like, hands down, you are the bad man from the bad lane. I mean, I wanted to go, all right, there's no match needed. The savagery's over. This man's the Intercontinental title. He brought it. He just took Dean Ambrose and Renee's young soul. It's so bad. You don't need to come see this. But yeah, I loved Samoa Joe, and I loved that promo. It was phenomenal.
yeah. Joe has the it. I've been
Yeah.
following him since his TNA career, and hell, I remember back in mid 2000, he had a WWE tryout. Um, he was an enhancement talent for Sunday Night Heat, and he was all right in the ring at the time. But now, here it is, years and years and years later, and he's finally in the Big E, and he's doing exactly what he said he was going to do. He's going to take over the world by storm, and he's doing that. Cutting badass promos, wrestling some of the best sports entertainment talent there is. But let's get into our next match as we have Braun Strowman going up against Rhino, Slater at ringside. Thanks, JoJo, for actually accidentally slipping up the wrong person's name coming to the ring. Strowman knocks Rhino back into a corner, and Slater gives Rhino some words of encouragement. They seem to be trading this whole, between Slater and Rhino is who I'm talking about here, where last week it was what, Kane versus Slater, or was that the week before?
I can't remember that one because I was trying to figure out what was going on there. But needless to say, honestly, when the whole Strowman match, you could just describe in this power slam.
Yeah. Of course, Slater tries to get involved in the match, and Strowman had enough of it. Gets on the mic and tells him, "Get your ass down and shut up if you don't want these hands." I was like, "What? No." Yeah, he gets better and better with his promos. I'm sorry, even in a match. But this match was very short, and basically a couple moves and a power slam later, your winner being none other than Braun Strowman. Afterwards, we see what is it? Slater. Slater gets involved in the match, and or not in the match, but post match, and he ends up getting power slammed as well. It was a trade off of power slams of both Rhino and Slater, and the crowd just kept chanting one more time. So he gave the crowd exactly what they wanted, and wow, Rhino has really fallen off the wagon. He used to be a monster among men from back in the 90s and early 2000s, and now here he is today, jobbing out the Braun Strowman.
Well, okay, hold on. yes, he got jobbed. All right, yes, he got jobbed. Slater got jobbed. But remember, this is Braun Strowman. It's not like it was Elias Sampson that beat him. So let's just remember that. Let's just remember that. It is Braun Strowman. And by the way, I gotta give it up for Braun. He gave the people what he wanted, and then he changed the match on the match. He looked at Slater, and I gotta go here. You either are a cheerleader or you get in this ring to catch some hands. And I'm going, ooh. And I'm waiting because he had that face. I'm waiting for the meme to go, and you knew he fucked up. Sorry, FCC Airways, my bad.
But yeah.
But I'm back.
But yeah, afterwards, we have a backstage promo with Roman Reigns cracking his knuckles. Seth Rollins walks in, tells him to keep his cool after what Joe said tonight. And Reigns says that Joe is nothing but a joke to him, and he hopes Ambrose and the whole world is watching tonight to see what he does. Rollins mentions that he does not want Reigns to get DQ'd because the title change can change in the event of a DQ tonight. Jordan walks in and he says that if the bar tries to run in, they'll stop him. Believe that. And then he walks away. Reigns and Rollins just have this look of confusion by Jordan's appearance, and it's just like, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we all had that same look. We're going. That's where I was going. It's like it's Kurt Angle from the old days when he first wrestled as the Olympic gold medalist, and he's just so sore thumb out of place. And that proved it right there. You think Dean Ambrose, he's his unique entity. They can deal with that. And then you have Jason Jordan, believe that, and walks on, and I'm going, that end of it, I was like, that's perfect. Don't say nothing. And they did. So
absolutely.
Sometimes they ruin the promo when it doesn't need to be ruined at all.
Yeah. But yeah. Afterwards, backstage, Kane approaches Strowman and says he just wants to talk. And Kane says that they should work together to take out Lesnar, but Strowman declines. Strowman says that he is the true alpha monster of the WWE, and he'll take care of Lesnar on his own. I can't wait to see this triple threat matchup between Strowman, Kane, and Lesnar. It's going to be interesting to see where things are going to pan out with that, because later on in the evening we had Brock Lesnar make his appearance in the ring, but we'll talk about that in a little bit as well. Afterwards, Finn Balor approaches Kurt Angle in the office, says that he's entering the Royal Rumble, and he also announces his partner for a 6-man tag against Elias and Miz-Taraj, and it's none other than Gallows and Anderson. He says he's teamed with them before and is ready to again, and they said if it wasn't them, it would have been some nerds from the locker room.
All the IGWPs and all the Japan wrestling fans were going, oh my God! And I did too, I'm not even going to lie. That was cool to see them all in that moment, because it is a moment. But the thing is this, keep them together.
Exactly.
Good, bad, because here's what I'm going to say. He's now entered in the Rumble. They enter in the Rumble. They've worked like a team. And I'm telling you, it will be awesome if WWE has the balls, because here's what I'm thinking. C-Double's projected wrestling mind. I got to go here. I've been sitting on this for a couple of months. If Roman Reigns beats Brock Lesnar, what is there else for Roman to do? I mean, let's be honest. That's the big thing people are talking about. Roman Brock, all right? Vince's wet dream come true. But here's the problem. So when Roman beats Brock, what is there to do? He's conquered everything. So this is the C double magic. I'd say you put Brock and Roman together, but you add Finn Balor. Because he's the only man that's never had a title match against Brock. So what you do, hear me out, you put that match in there and think about it. It goes like everyone's expecting. Roman's about to take care of business. He's about to do the spear and everything. He spears him, pins. Balor drops the double boot and pushes Roman off and pins Brock. And Finn and the Bullet Club unite and take out Roman. And Brock, if Brock's not back, then you're not going to have Brock around. So that's what I'm saying. If Brock's not going to be around, you've got to plan for other things. And it's not that, and you've got to have a strong heel. I mean, hell, we're praying that The Miz would get the shot to do it, and I still say he will. I mean, because he's just been the one that's carried Raw for the longest time. But, yeah, dude, I'm really excited about this whole Finn Balor thing. I still think he's that guy that could turn it around.
Oh, and I hope he does one day.
But I think I think it's coming on the fact of this. He has to go heel, though. Because that's what made the Bullet Club big, was when he went heel. And I think you got to do it again.
Well, we can only hope for that to happen. Now, next we have Roman Reigns, going up against Samoa Joe for the Intercontinental title. And the only way the title, can change hands is by pinfall, or if Roman Reigns gets himself disqualified. Joe starts off strong with some right hands on Reigns. Of course, Reigns starts fighting back. These two completely demolished each other. Joe sends Reigns to the outside. They take it out there for a little bit. Joe fires up with some elbows and then goes for a suplex. It was basically a back and forth battle, but about 3/4 through the match, we see Samoa Joe shove Roman Reigns into the ref. Ref is getting ready to call DQ, but it looked like Joe went back on the attack, and of course we see Roman Reigns save the ref this time around and shove him out of the way where Samoa Joe was getting ready to attack Roman Reigns. And this match was just so damn good. These two had the greatest in-ring psychology. And of course, after the shove to the ref, we see a Superman punch and a spear. And other things we saw in the match as well was like Joe locking in the coquina clutch, but Reigns fought his way out of that. Your winner and still Intercontinental Champion is none other than Roman Reigns. I think this might have been match of the night.
You're not going off by any shot there. I'm not even going to lie to you. That match was really good. Look, I'm a big Samoa Joe fan. I wanted him to win. I want him to be that dominant heel. But I got to go here. I'm going to have to give the devil his due. Roman Reigns is producing a lot of great matches. And he's finally getting guys a trust. He's finally building that rapport. And that really means a lot when you're watching this, all right? So got to give it up to Roman in that regard. I mean, I'm not going to be that huge dickhead that goes, he still sucks. No, he could go. He could go. And then Samoa Joe. Chris or CM, you know how this is. You get somebody and they just make you better. They take your game and elevate it to another level. That is what Samoa Joe does for Roman. I've just noticed that every time they go at each other. And I'm going to tell you, I know that we've heard people say, oh, Cena and Orton always going against each other. They're going against each other. I don't care. If you can bring it and bring the best out of you, then keep going. I can see matches like this with Joe and Roman because they bring it. And, and like I said, you feel it, and that's what I'm liking. Is that I'm watching wrestling and I can feel it, and it can go that other level.
Absolutely, man. And going above the bar is a major thing in this company. That goes back to what we were talking about earlier with long matches as well. And just everything in this company. There's a lot of stuff that needs to be worked on. You know, I'm character development. You know, time matches. There's just so much that we can talk about here right now, but yeah, it would just take too long.
I like how you said that, because I kind of feel the same way, and I understand. Actually, under the new partnership we're doing, we're actually going to have a show where we actually have a open shoot where we go into that. So, and we'll definitely be talking more about that in the near future here.
But yeah, moving forward, we have Kurt Angle backstage with watching Reigns win, and Paul Heyman walks in. Heyman warns Angle that they're aware of Kane possibly proposing a conspiracy to Strowman to take out Lesnar before the Royal Rumble. Heyman says if Angle doesn't put a stop to it, Lesnar will let all hell break loose. I gotta say, I'm ready to talk about what happens later on, but at the same time, it's also a disappointment. But
well, let's keep going, bro. You're kind of like me on that one.
yeah, that ending was kind of meh. But we have Drew Gulak and Ariya Daivari in the ring. Gulak reads a message from Enzo. Typical promo. Brings out Cedric Alexander, who prompts Alexander to come out. You know, Cedric says, you know, he has doubts that Enzo is really sick, but since he's not here, either Gulak or Daivari can, you know, have a match against him instead. They said they'll do it, but in a tag team match. So Cedric better hope for someone to come out and help him right now. And of course, out of nowhere, Goldust's theme come out. I was like, wait, what? This is 205 Live, not 260 Live. But yeah, Goldust came out. He said that he'll be his friend for one night. And talked about how he has friends in low places. But, you know, there was no reason to put their differences beside, because they have no differences at all. So they became a tag team. Yay, WWE logic. So, of course, Cedric starts off.
I'm trying not to laugh, but why not?
Yeah, so, I was thinking, you know, what is this, like Goldust and R-Truth, part 2? That's exactly what I was feeling in this match. But Cedric starts off in control against Daivari. Sends Daivari flying with a Hurricanrana. Levels him with a drop kick. This is basically Cedric and Goldust match. There was barely any offense, let alone very little defense from Gulak and Daivari. We even saw Goldust do some aerial moves. It took him a little bit of time, but the fact that Daivari and Gulak stood in the ring for like almost 15-20 seconds before Goldust could set up his little top corner move, I was like, oh wow, you know, that was some effort right there. But of course, in the end, Cedric tags in, takes out Daivari while Goldust hits an uppercut on Gulak. Cedric follows up with a lumbar check on Gulak for a 3 count. Your winners being Goldust and Cedric. That match, I didn't expect anything of it. I was kind of hoping Hideo Itami would come out, but no, they didn't have Hideo come out. Hell, even T.J. Perkins could have came out, but no, they threw out Goldust instead. So,
well, you know, Rich Swan's a bit busy in the back making license plates, and oh my God, this match was Foxtrot Charlie. I mean, I heard Goldust's music, and I'm like, what the hell am I watching? And I'm like, if the wrestler's black, is it in Goldust's contract to team up with him? It's almost, it's like, what I guess Goldust went black. He never goes back. I mean, well, I got to go here. When when Goldust went up to the top, all I could say was they called him the natural. But oh my God, that match. There's really not much you can say about it, but cluster. It was a cluster.
Yeah, it's
Glad
definitely...
for Cedric. Cedric, that really was more for Cedric to showcase he did, and that's really the best is what you want to do. I'm like you. Where was Hideo? Where was Ali Mustafa? Because he was the other one that I was wondering about. Because I like him. He's the one that actually moves the meter for me. I mean, I'm not big on the Tiger Man or the Zezge, whatever. There was the one that wears the mask. Not Kalisto, but the other guy. But
okay.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. But those are some guys I look at. So I'm going, watching. I'm going. That is where I was wondering. But again, there's only one man that I can truly see partnering with Cedric, and he's not even signed to WWE yet. So once he gets signed, then I'll start really pushing because, you can only say 5 times and you would catch what I'm saying. But, love you, Fred. Contract eventually needs to get signed. So, we got to see Fred Yehi. That's all I'm saying. The Connect 4 master needs to be going to WWE. That's just my little saying, so whatever, I think I've said too much.
All right. That being said, let's go into our main event match of the evening. So we have Finn Balor, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson going up against Bo Dallas, Curtis Axel, and Walking with Elias. Of course, we have Elias coming out to the ring for a song. In the ring with them is already the Miz Taraj, and that was just god-awful. Bo and Curtis can't sing to save their life. But Elias, he cuts a promo with a song and gets heavily booed, and I thought it was great. This guy is so over as a heel, and what's not to love about the guy? He's like he's like an oversized Seth Rollins.
Thank you. Everyone thought I was going crazy when I said that.
But he can sing, so. But of course, after that awful promo, it wasn't awful at all. It was great. After that promo was done, they were cut off by Gallows and Anderson's entrance, followed by Finn Balor. But this match, it speaks for itself. 6-man tags, one of the things you got to try to keep up with because there's just so many people in the ring. But of course, you have Balor and Axel. Balor and Axel started out. Axel takes Balor into a corner, hits some shoulder strikes, then hit him with a neck breaker. Then it brings in Elias. Elias stomps Balor in the corner. Wow, it was a short match. If you think about it, not even 10 minutes.
It was.
Elias stomps Balor in the corner, keeps working on him. Balor trips up Elias, hits a double foot stomp. Gallows and Dallas get tags, but Gallows cleans house, and I gotta say, I'm glad Gallows and Anderson are face. Gallows hits a big boot on Dallas. Gallows and Dallas. Great ring. Yeah, what a way to rhyme this one. Good job, WWE. Elias breaks up the pin. Then Anderson takes he takes out Elias. Gallows hits a super kick on Dallas. And then Anderson comes in as a hit the Magic Killer. And then, of course, we see the coup de grace on Dallas for the 3 count, with your winners being the Bullet Club. Or I'm sorry, the club, because the Bullet Club's not allowed to be mentioned.
But they're allowed to too sweet. Just saying. Um, okay, so like I said earlier, I'm psyched about this. So this is not like I'm about to crap on WWE for coming up with this. But honestly, you got to give the people what they want. It is not a crime. And, again, WWE just got to understand the Bullet Club is a legit thing. And, it's not, it's just because WWE didn't make it doesn't mean it just can't be used.
Exactly.
I get it. There's so much bad blood with everybody around it. But the fact of the matter is, you've got to let, Finn Balor, it's almost like this. If you feel he can't cut it, put him in the 205 area. If not, then you've got to give him the chance to be Finn Balor. I personally would love for him to come out and go, Finn Balor is the name that WWE wanted me to have. Well, since they don't believe in me enough, I'm going back to my roots. You could call me the man named Devitt, or Devitt. Something. I'm craving something for this guy. I just believe he's got too much of it for it to go by the wayside. That's how I feel. I'm watching him, and I know you got to play the game of being corporate, or you got to do what the bosses say. I get that, but damn, man, there's just so much there, and I don't know about you, but it feels like it gets wasted at times.
Yeah, well, the WWE's good at wasting opportunities, wasting talent here and there. Maybe you should throw another W in there. WWE. We waste wrestling entertainment. I don't know.
Hire C double. I got this. I already got some plans for WWE. Just hire me. I got this. But I still got to do the show with CM. So just know that, though. I got priorities. My homies.
But yeah, we see a promo for the Miz's return for next week on Raw. Yay! Wrestler of the Year.
Time. Yeah? Who would ever thunk that, by the way?
I know. I'm actually happy for him.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone.
we used to be real.
Was it Time?
No, it was Rolling Stone.
I thought so.
Honestly, there was a point in time. I remember when we would do talks and how people would hate the Miz, and I would be like one of the rare guys that actually talked about how good he was. And it was coming from a guy that I didn't like the Miz at the time either, but I saw something in him. And the thing is, this whole year, 2017, if you think about all those wow moments, who did it come from?
Yeah, him.
Yeah, and like he let the cat out of the bag when he was reviewing some of the videos about himself with the whole thing with Daniel Bryan. They had nothing planned for him, and he was the Intercontinental Champion.
Yep.
How stupid was that? I'm sorry. I know I'm kind of diluting, but, trust me, you'll understand when we get into the main event attraction, whatever that was.
Yeah,
what was that?
Let's talk about this. The final promo of the evening is we have Universal Champ Brock Lesnar come out with Paul Heyman. We see a replay of Kane prepositioning, Strowman earlier about way to take out Lesnar. Strowman seeming, to decline. Heyman gets on the mic, complains about Lesnar having to face two opponents. This time at Royal Rumble against Kane and Strowman. Heyman takes the issue with the fact that either Kane and Strowman could pin one another and Lesnar would lose the title. Heyman said that Lesnar will still win and he fears no challengers. They go to leave, brings out Kane. Kane ends up choke slamming Lesnar. As Kane goes to leave, Brock gets up. He sits up and smiles at Kane. he did the whole Taker Kane sit up too, which was crazy. And then as soon as he gets up, he uses the belt to hit Kane and knocks him to the outside. They take it to the outside for a little bit, and before they can start brawling, members of the locker room break it up, and we're told Kurt is on the stage ordering the fight to be broken up as they call off Kane while Lesnar holds up his Universal title to end the show. Disappointing. I can see why they did it though, because we're still 3-4 weeks away from the Royal Rumble. They still could have let these two go at it, but hopefully they have bigger plans following up next Monday. Because
yeah,
that was too light of a battle. The troops came out way too soon and broke it up. I mean, look what they did between Brock and Taker. What was it, 3 years ago?
The most memorable faces that we'll ever see of Undertaker. Oh my God, this was bad. This was a real, and I'm gonna go here. We'll go into our ratings.
Yeah.
I know we will. But I got to go here. Man, the show was not bad. All right. So with me saying that, you kind of have an idea what I'm going to. But this, I would have rather seen Roman and Joe take it home. I really would. I'm watching and I'm just like, this is what you're electing to finish the show with? It doesn't make sense. Or at least, I don't know about you. I actually was waiting for, like Braun to come out and power slam Brock. That would have been pretty awesome. Just because the crowd was already hype about Braun.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, man. It just did not. I'm watching and I'm just, like I said, I'm like you. I know there's more to come, but that was very lame. You really didn't have like the old fight sessions like we did with Taker and Brock. And I don't think it's Brock on this one. I just thought that was just stupid.
Yeah, like I said, the general direction of this. I really didn't know where they were going, so I just took it for what it was worth. Hopefully, next Monday, the repercussions are a little bit higher and that they do something a little bit better. But, yeah, with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get down to the final review. This Raw was not so bad. That ending promo and the beginning with Jason Jordan kind of needs some work, but overall I'm going to give this show a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Everything else, there was nothing else really wrong with the show. I've been watching it here and there, but this is 2018 and I'm going to try to watch it every Monday so that way we can talk about it. And yeah, I'm just going to stick with that rating right there. C-Double, what did you think?
Man, so many thoughts on this. Really, let me put it this way. There were a lot of good parts about Raw last night, and then there were some parts that you just kind of shook your head about, and its main event picture, really, and where direction's going. But like you, I'm going to go 3.5. That basically sounds like a good number, and I kind of like I said, I like the direction. I just you left me wanting more. Exactly. And as a fan, that's a hard thing to deal with. Is that, man, I want more. And like I said, well, I'll keep. We're gonna keep doing this. It's not like we're walking away. So, I'm definitely intrigued. It's just like I said, there's more has to be coming up though. But 3, I think for the first show of the year, yeah, 3, you're good. 3.5, you're good.
Yeah, so good job WWE getting a 3.5 out of me. For the last few months, it's been like 2 stars. So getting halfway there, you're climb to the top of the mountain. To get there, you have to be halfway up. So,
Oh, well, remember, I think what really sparked it up another notch was they actually showed, USA showed a promo or a promotion thing for New Japan Wrestling. So I just found that very cool that that happened. I don't know if it showed it on yours, but it did on mine.
I think I missed out on that. But, but yeah, I just got word that our boy Jason could not make it today because he is fighting the flu right now. So, J-Bone, get better, brother.
Yeah.
Once you're back up near 100%, we'll have you back on the show with us. Talk some more WWE and Lucha Underground, because that's going to be the next thing that's going to happen on the show. Is basically outside of WWE. What more can I really say about that? We need variety. We need more than WWE talk. And
well, we also have New Japan. They're stepping their game up. Ring of Honor's stepping up their game. And then, in the indie circuit itself, I'm not trying to brag or anything, but wait a minute, I am. SVW is stepping up too. Some cocky jerk that works with them, C-Dub, told me so. Oh, wait a minute, that's me. But I'm telling you, man, wrestling, if you want it, it's out there. And I know everyone likes to say WWE's not this. I get it. Back in the day, you find it. And, it kind of holds true to now.
uh-huh.
If you want it, get it, make. I mean, there are guys out there, wrestling in CZW and hell, how many CZW guys at one point we interviewed?
Quite a few.
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, I will tell you, man. I think it's out there. We just have to keep finding it.
Oh, I believe it, and we will find it all. And once we find it all, we want it on the show. But
Oh, amen.
with that being said, that's going to wrap up this week's edition of Destroying Kayfabe, or at least the Raw edition anyway. Be sure to tune in tomorrow as C-Double. If you want to do a SmackDown review with me tomorrow morning, we'll cover that as well.
I think I'll be a Huckleberry. I could join that dance.
All right, sounds good. With that being said, I am CM Styles. This is C-Double. You've been listening to Destroying Kayfabe. You have a good day now. Peace out.
Peace.